one.
What is going on, Smite fans? Today we're bringing you a surely amazing game. We've got DragonesUC versus SML Rejects in the Asgard finals. I'm here with my co-host and analyst, Trouble. How are you doing today, buddy?
Doing awesome. Hype for the game. Some spicy picks in the Sanko in the mid lane. Gonna go late in that one, and some meta picks like we see Shibalanke. If you played Rang in the last few weeks, you've seen a lot of Shibalanke, and he's insanely strong. So hype for what Nesfor can do on this god.
I'm really interested, particularly to see this Jonqui in the mid lane. And the T2 Warlock staff start here really means that he's going to try and get those stacks online and snowball past that level 5 using that really powerful ultimate.
Yeah, there's no reason to not start stacking on Sanko immediately, because all you do with Sanko is stacking all games, you get almost stacking items, you have some fun. But interesting enough, he's against the Hell.
Ooh,
and
over in the duo side here, hold on a second. Nesfor poked down to about half health, but he's going to get peeled for by his support WrongU. Back to what you were saying about that Jonqui in the mid lane, however, as we see them start their speed buff, that stacking is going to be going on all game, which means this early aggression from the Hell is kind of going to be wasted in this mid lane unless they can do too much with it in the jungle.
Yeah, Hell has a surprising amount of poke for more like a heal to say got big engage in the dual lane. It's mostly getting pretty low.
Terra jumped on by Bacchus. No follow-up, however, from Nesfor. But the sprint is popped by SML Reject here, maybe looking for an engage back on. But both teams sitting a little too low to do anything.
No, this was so good and so well played by DragonesUC, because now they waited the enemy sprint, but there's a sprint off. And sprint 2 at the early levels is such a great tool. It basically wins you every fight by just pressing one button. And now having that up, they can fully go aggressive, in comes from flop, and now expect a sprint.
However, no follow-up from Shibalanke. I think a little bit of a miscommunication there. Over in the solo side of the map here, junglers are meeting. Camazotz has a little bit more sustain here than Letteror, but he's going to root him and go straight towards the mid lane. Now having pressure, maybe getting these mid camps.
Yeah, let's try to get the pressure down. So Kui was going to secure his red buff. This dual lane was losing quite a bit, so he went over to that one, secures for himself. Udon actually nicely waits for his jungler, so they share XP. Try to get that Ravana rolling really early is always important for the god. Still a bit of snowball dependent. He's not that super tank in the lane that he used to be, so you want to give him some early items and get this damage rolling, especially on that Hell, because you can't leave Hell unattended for a long time. It will lose you the game.
Yeah, and I mean, something I want to point out here is Letterer on this Ravana is something we've seen quite a lot, and he's shown to be very, very deadly on it. So securing him that farm lead and just getting him some sort of lead in any way that they can is really important to counter this kind of late game comp they've got going with the Hell and the Terra and the Amy in the solo lane.
Yeah. Look at the dual lane again. Shibalanke got the jump, jumps in on Anhur. Anhur gets the jump out, but it's really low phrases. Was he had to run for the life. Terra not having any dashes, gets slowed. Should be first blood, goes down. Nesfor picks up that kill.
Very good kill there. A little bit of not miscommunication, but overstaying by the Terra there. Kind of underestimating the early damage that Shibalanke can bring, even though he's a late game hunter. Very, very well played by DragonesUC in the duo side over there.
Yeah, we talk about Shibalanke, a lot of damage, but Bacchus, my man. He has some of the biggest early game power spikes, like his levels get burst down, get buffed like 2 times over the recent 5 patches. So the burp does more damage, applies all that enter here, pretty good against Hell. And the early damage in the lane phase is really good, just to balance that rather passive Shibalanke. So really good played dual lane right there, and good early kill.
Ooh, off the mark there with the wall is SML Rejects, and they're going to get punished for it. Bacchus ADC coming through for the win, I'm going to say.
Yeah, Bacchus just bopped on the Anhur, no reason to jump. Playing Anhur to Bacchus is a bit of a difficult matchup, because the Anhur jump is slightly slower than the Bacchus jump, so unless you have a max distance for the Bacchus to jump in, you're mostly going to get hit before you get to jump up. That happened, Anhur is dead. And that was a good to base, and losing early against Shibalanke is not the best feel in the world, I'd say.
This is definitely a really great comp they have over on this duo side, because they've got the late game and they have the early game damage, which you really wouldn't expect out of a Shibalanke. But the setup coming out from WrongU so far has just been on point, and which means they're going to get this really early lead, which is what you want.
Yeah, but they couldn't transfer the lead into anything important. Yet they get those 2 kills, that's nice and good. They have a certain lead, all fine, but they couldn't invade any buffs. They couldn't make Bacchus rotate to mid lane already. They couldn't take away the red buff, nor the purple buff. So yes, they have that slight lead, but it's not enough.
True, they haven't been able to invade any buffs so far, maybe that first one only, but yeah, like you said, they're not really transferring any leads. So now we kind of have to look at this mid lane, where we see Hell actually having the 1 level advantage on Jonqui. which might translate to a faster stacked Book of Thoth if she can get pressure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Second that early. Hell doesn't have any power spikes at level 5 like all the other gods because she's a stance switcher, so she has no big ultimate, no burst of damage coming out at that point. But she's getting all the levels in Hell without being contested by Ravan, who couldn't put any pressure on Hell so far. But things might change because now Bacchus waddling on the mid lane and he might have something to say about that Hell free farming all game.
Yeah, I really like that early rotation by Rongyu. Knowing that he can kind of leave this Xbalanque alone to actually farm damage with that new passive is a very smart play. And we talked about earlier the anti-heal on that 3. Maybe making for some pretty big plays here.
Yeah, checking if the will give you any option to check the passive. Sadly, no. So you can't look at that, but he should be at like 3
Hold
6
on
maybe.
a second, Duocide over here. Aggression coming out. Xbalanque ult is popped, and the jump is good. However, the Bacchus ult is better to half health and take down Freyson on that on her.
Oh, Bacchus, 2 kills already. Cooldown boots finished, and Freyson, yes, no boots. He only has tier 2 Devil Gloves. How should he escape from the fat man in the Valkyrie cosplay? So, I think looking good for the Anno. He has to be really careful with farming, even though I think his team is fine with farming for the late game because they have the Hell, they have the Amaterasu. Anhu, not a great saving god, but no slouch either. Terra is a great late game team fight god. So they have the setup, they have the team, they can fight back. And late, say this.
Speaking of this Amaterasu, over on the solo side of the map, actually being pressured out by Shinto so far is awesome. Jake trying to deny a little back there, but later in the game, this Amaterasu is really going to bring mostly just that ultimate and the speed aura, which will help against the Bacchus and the Xbalanque chasing down. But what do you think is going to happen if the Amy just can't get online and is getting pressured out so much like she is right now by Shinto?
Well, hold that thought because they've engaged the dual lane. Terra ult was popped, Xbalanque ult was popped, Bacchus goes in. Nothing happening, both sprints are popped, both teams run away.
Grayson already used the Desert Fury, and Letteror's coming over to this side of the map as well. Maybe looking for something over Freyson, backing off, however, because both junglers have rotated to the fight.
Yes, they did. So, more like they rotated just for safety issues, if their team was always at the boundaries, but I think the red team, as the Rejects, learned their lesson to not fight into those, and Bacchus coming up now is a huge issue for them, so they can be happy they didn't lose that, but interesting to play for the aggression there. But back to your question, Amaterasu, in the late game, she doesn't need a whole lot, especially because she's played support a lot. She doesn't need all that items. She just a bit of cooldown, a bit of techiness, and she can get good ults off. But look at good ults. She's got a gank in the left right lane.
There's the old pop by Awesome Jake, but rooted, however, by Letteror. The damage coming out from this jungler in the early game is going to destroy this solo laner.
Yeah, especially Amaterasu, early up against a Guardian, can't pick up any physical defense. No, we see the start of the Breath of Vela. Normally Amaterasu, but nope, it's an archer against you, so you should possibly looking for a Genji's card, so no physical defense, so all that Raven damage is going to hurt you.
One thing I want to point out so far, 7 minutes into this game, is the amount of wards we see coming out from DragonesUC. Really on this duo side, we've got 2 sets of 4 wards, really giving Letteror those rotation guidelines he's been using so good so far to get him ahead and killed and gold. Really, really good early aggression. In the mid lane, followed by Kamazot's ultimate. He's gonna get a little bit of tick damage. Aegis is used there to get the last hit off of him. And Letteror turns onto Haddix to pick up a kill, but Jonqui is dropped.
Oh, big ooh there by Quali. He was safe. He popped Aegis to beautiful timing. Could have went out, didn't put any damage down. Letteror had that kill. One Geo walls around, so no issue gets picked up. Going to die there, but we're fighting in mid lane right now. Bacchus comes out, looking for hell.
Oh, the blade go to the back line! Letteror coming out with a big damage there to clean up the hell is very big to put the pressure back onto SML Reject so far.
Yeah, 2 for 1 exchange right there, but quite a misplay by the replay.
Over in the dual side, however, Desert Fury's popped by Freyson, almost soloing Xbalanque there. Last auto is going to be off the mark, but that early aggression almost got punished. Very hard.
When the big bad Bacchus is gone on a blade, Xbalanque looks way more acceptable. Talking about the big bad Bacchus, Luciano can't find him though.
Red buff invade going on here by the solo lane of Amaterasu. Ult is popped to stun out Kale, and the damage is not there. But they're going to miss the root, however. Haddix comes through, picks up the kill, but he's going to get turned on by the Bacchus. Letteror up, down, and gone is Haddix, and he's going to keep returning damage on. However, Hell shows up. and he's going to have to run away.
Yeah, since Hell shows up, he's gonna reset the fight completely, but Shibalanki now, talk about resetting, he's in the mix right now, looking to get some damage onto Hell, pops his ultimate, Hell Aegis is popped, and Artio is closing in from the left side.
Root not used there to get away by Slothy, so she still has that monolith up, however, she's going to run away, stunned out by Artio, the damage is still coming through from Nesfor, and they're looking for more here.
Looking for more, looking for the kills. Slow comes out of Shibalanki, looks to get some damage down. Archie is still in the mix, but he can't find the auto attacks. And now Awesome Jack's gonna zone him off. Actually, does a lot of damage to Shibalanki, but Big Boy Buckets is here to save the day once again.
Yeah, peeling for his
Meanwhile,
carry.
lane,
Getting
Archie
Nesfor
is
out.
giving up.
But Freyson's over here with the Desert Fury instead of the Impale coming out. I don't know if that was the best choice. It's going to throw 2 autos away, 3 into the wall. Body blocked by Bacchus. And ulted, jumped on and picks up the kill, however. A little bit of a throw, but maybe picked up by the Bacchus with the jump. Right there.
3-0 for Bacchus, celebrating his victory of all those 280 carries that ruined your rank games lately. So yeah. Roger, he's having a fun time. I like that, but this team fight was like a huge mess in terms of communication. Artio was chasing down the Hell in the mid lane, meanwhile Amaterasu was chasing down Shibalanki. Anno Jonathan Frey, Ronchio was hopping between all of those, trying to find any safety. Nearly saved Shibalanki to great body blocks, but you can't body block jumps. So this was wasted, and overall a pretty even fight, I'd say. But as I said, the late game scaling off as a reject.
Hold on a second. Camazot's over here looking for the speed buff invade. Letterer up, down, and not going to do any damage because it's immune by a jump. Very good play there from Haddix on the Camazots. He's still looking for that speed buff with the Amaterasu and Hell kind of rotating over now.
He has backup hacks figure kills, but out comes Shakuyo, gets a stun, and he's that bad right here. No, gets the jump out, is dead though. Can't escape the ghosts.
Kale picks up Haddix there, but that was really close. We've seen Haddix do some really interesting mechanical plays so far. He's been using that Devour, that jump on Camazots to avoid a lot of damage. He does have immunity frames, so he's been really avoiding most of the burst damage, but I think it was a little too much coming out from Kale there.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication. I think Haddix, he wanted to group up with Emuel to get those heals done, but there was a queen between those, so he couldn't get that route. And then Quali picked up that kill.
Speaking of that Hell with the early damage, there's no tower for her to dive anyway, so just going to walk up. Aegis used by Kale, and the damage picks up Kale in the mid lane, giving that Hell Emmanuel's piloting pretty good substantial lead so far.
Yeah, this is not just solo lane Hell. This is not a semi-tanky cooldown, heal sustain Hell. This is a burst Hell. This is a full book of Tough, and possibly either a Spear of Desolation or the Megas coming up, or maybe even Divine Ruin just to stop that all that Sankui healing. But there's a ton of damage on that Hell, and she's doing really well. And Sankui, he will get buffed next patch, but he's not right now, and he's not looking good in the mid lane here.
Yeah, this Hell we were talking about might struggle a little bit in the early game, but now we're really seeing that face of late game show through the mid game as Hell picks up that early tower and is able to really translate the aggression into denying some of Kale's stacks. Over on the solo lane side, we see pings come out as Amaterasu is just kind of looking to proxy here. Haddix is over here too, uses the ultimate to get away. Letterer is still on the chase, however. Sprint is popped.
Slow goes out, Hell goes in, gets Buckets also, gets done, gets rooted, but still alive. The Hell pops the Aegis, and Haddix in the backline.
Blink comes out from Haddix.
Emuel is still alive. No, cancel that. He's gone down to Shito, and in comes Sankui, popping the ultimate, popping the slow, gets looked for Haddix. No one's been available for Ponce. And he goes down.
Shincho doing some real work here with the cripple field, keeping Haddix in there for DragonesUC, trying to dive this tower a little bit, but they're too low.
Yeah, Stuffy with a great stun just to save his teammate, even though Osmojack was pretty fine. Osmojack right now has his magical defense going, looking to get the physical as well. And as soon as he finishes it, possible burst for Lovella, he should be good to go in those team fights. Like I said, Amaterasu is quite like a low econ god. She's a few levels and a few items, and she's really, really good, and everything else is just luxury. But having this cool items, a bit of defense, really helps her out. And she's making her way in those team fights. I really like that play.
I mean, that Genji's guard, yeah, is really kind of showing what Awesome Jake here is going for on this Amaterasu, kind of getting those cooldowns up earlier, really looking for the aura stims and just the ultimate on cooldown to try and isolate members of DragonesUC. Something I want to talk about really quick on this Hell is that we haven't seen Kale actually finish his Warlock staff yet, and Book of Thoth has been stacked for almost a few minutes now, really translating back into the damage that Annual is able to pull up. Gold Fury maybe started here over by SML Rejects, just grabbing those oracles really quick. But Kale and Wrong You are here to zone just a little bit. Solo side, however, we see Awesome Jake pick up the blue buff from Shinto. Gonna deny maybe a little bit, but no. Shinto's gonna pick up the other blue buff, and Letteror's here to show up and deal out a little bit of damage, but he's gonna back off. Mid lane, we see a team fight kind of grouped up. Not much either side can do. Oh, Letteror picking up a kill onto Haddix. Huge for this team.
Keep solo casting.
Pyromancer started by both members of DragonesUC, not the damage dealers, but enough damage to get this online so far. Over in the mid lane is Kale and Wrong You zoning 2 members of SML Rejects. Is going to give DragonesUC this first objective of the game. No Gold Fury yet, and Freyson is going to pick up the second here with the dual side tower, really exemplifying his lead so far. However, in the mid lane, Wrong You jumping over that wall, but still getting stunned out. Amaterasu on the back line. Kale's Aegis is popped, but the stun is good to give him a little bit of time. Letteror trying to peel with damage, but Awesome Jake picks up the kill. Shinjo on the back here. Comes around, and with Wrong You picks up one onto Awesome Jake. Letteror bolts into the tower to try and pick up Slothy, and the return blink from Haddix is huge, putting out massive damage. 3v1ing here with the ultimate. Bat Out of Hell. Bat Out of Hell's going to pick up one. Bat Out of Hell's going to pick up one more if he can get close enough. Screech is used to get a little bit of power bonus here, and Wrong You's out of position. Picked up by Freyson on the back. Still looking for more is Haddix. Oh. And Nesfor comes out to pick up the kill.
Yeah, both AD carries just slightly hop into the team fight and pick up the last kills. Waiting to do that, so did Nesfor. Are you good, mate? Oh. Alright, so we have a Gold Fury started right here, looking for that. Lucky pops the ultimate, tries to get some box shots in to deny the Gold Fury. Well, they don't care, they know they can't burst it. And out comes the other ult and is stunned, and Gold Fury secured for SML Rejects, evening up that gold difference by 500 gold.
2 to 3 if you count that tower. Objective secured so far by SML Rejects is really looking good for this later game team comp as we hit about 16 minutes with a pretty substantial lead in XP but not in gold for SML Rejects. What do you think DragonesUC need to do, Trouble, so far to put this lead back in their spot?
Well, we have that Chibalanke and here's a pause but now his passive should be stuck at this moment. Just get your AD carry in there. Try to get the slows down and look to start team fighting at that point because your support is amazingly strong. Your soul lane is amazingly strong, so you have the front line so Zakuri can go in without any fear. And if you bring the AD carry in, let the damage go down. Quit his farming and let him go fight it because if they wait too long, yes, Chivalaki is a great late game carry, but you want to have him in your game right now because he will utilize your very, very fat tanks. But you need to put damage behind them. So Shivalaki has to rotate now, but he is under his tower and looks like he might be DC'd or at least AFK because Sakuri took over for the wave. That's unfortunate.
Not going to be able to help out in this mid lane fight. Talking a little bit about those ADC builds, Nesfor actually picked up an Aussie here. So the ADC kind of wanting to put that damage behind and into the front line. As Shinto solos Haddix over here.
At his own tier 2.
I want to know how that happened.
Well, I could have watched. I couldn't see that, sadly,
Oh
but
gosh.
I feel like Haddix was a bit low, was trying to get to the side of the camp, and got caught out by Shinto, and he goes down. But as far as I think, he's still looking to be AFK at his left-hand tower, and no pause coming up, which is concerning for me, but it comes out of the only the mid lane.
Letteror on the side here, onto Freyson, looking for a little bit of damage while the mid lane is kind of dominated here by SML Rejects. Letteror not getting his damage out, Aegis popped, and Shinto's looking to aggress. But the rest of DragonesUC isn't here.
Yeah, they're one man down, and if they get a 5-man death bowl, they're grouping up around to Hell, and Amaterasu, and the Terror. All those 3 gods have great impact for your whole team. So it's really hard to fight with them, especially when your main damage dealer is missing.
It's still sitting over in this left-hand side, just letting the creeps zone into tower. Still getting gold, still getting XP, but Nesfor AFK is a really big hit so far for DragonesUC. Not being able to shred that Terra or Awesome Jake on that Amaterasu is really giving SML Rejects the front line they need to push DragonesUC back and secure some objectives with the Pyromancer coming up and Fire Giant still standing.
And even like a Hell who has to be really much of a frontline god sometimes, it can be close to enemies, so Schmelek could even get some pox into her.
Oh, that's force back.
Alive! Alright, that's pretty good. We're talking about alive. Shinju should be alive a bit longer. He's out of mana, gets chased on by 4 people right now. Is under his turret? Nope, there's no more turret. He gone.
Ultimate maybe used there by Awesome Jake to secure the kill, but Horrific was. Killing this right side, zoning a little bit from the tower, but Ledor is going to get jumped on by 3 members of SML Rejects. Ledor running away from the fight because he doesn't have enough health to keep going, but the Blink comes back in to try and return some of the damage. He's popped by Haddix on the Camazotz to try and get out of it, but he blinks back onto him. Aegis used to immune the damage, and Haddix is killing Ledoror on cooldown at this point.
Yeah, but Marcus jumped there, got a great hold of, but not enough of damage. Even Nesfor is here now, gets pock shots into Haddix, gets shots into Emule, but not enough. Emule first down, should be going down enough.
Emule at 1 health!
Gets the hell out! And now to resustain, be happy, get some more damage in, and now Bucks the really bad spot behind his tier 1. Gets chance to the Phoenix, by the Camazotz, and the Drowser should be falling. Anytime soon, he goes down, Emule picks him up, and in the meantime, Anhur was happily pushing a mid lane tower.
Trouble, I heard that joke, and I just want to give you credit for the get the hell out there, because that's exactly what we saw Emule do on the Hell. Sitting at 1 HP, actually healed for most of the damage taken, and is now at full health, ready to start this Fire Giant.
Yeah, that's why healer matters are always a bit difficult. And Emule, he was really down, but didn't hit him back because his health, so he popped the sweep a bunch of times, won a bunch of times, and it's good to go. Fire Giant going down, no Phoenix down yet. With a Fire Giant, with a 1-team fight, with his 2 tier 2s down in mid and solo lane, I think they're looking grim for DragonesUC.
Grim is definitely the right word here to talk about the situation DragonesUC is in. A second ago, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, we saw them having about the same gold, and now we see a 10k gold lead on the side of SML Rejects. And when you reach that kind of 7 to 8k gold lead, it translates into 1 or 2 more items. So this is really the point where we see DragonesUC not really able to fight into it, and we need to see SML Rejects make a mistake if they're going to come back.
Yeah, and one issue they have right now for DragonesUC is backline access, because yes, they have Ravana who can jump in, and yes, they have Artier to go in, but both those gods don't provide the biggest amount of burst damage like an assassin would do at that point. So yes, they can go back in, but there's a Hell hitting people up, even though anti-heal is picked up, it doesn't help a whole lot. So they can't go to the backline, so they have to fight front to back, and fighting front to back against a Hell is the worst you can possibly do. So all we can do right now is get your Shibalanki to 6 items, stall, hold your Phoenixes, and win 1 team fight, where you're able to burst down one of those tanks, and then go from the tank to the next player.
Yeah, Ledoror's really been zoned by the front line of SML Rejects. Picked up a Brawlers to counter the Hell, but Errata the Asclepius right back in return is what Emule is saying. He's saying, I want to keep my team alive. We're just going to take all your objectives, and I'm just going to stay near the back line, and you can't get me.
Yeah, actually, they picked up nearly every anti-heal item possible. They got the...
That's true, they have the line. Akasult is used in the mid lane, and so is Shibalanke. They're blind here, and Ledoror's on the back line looking for Hell. Emule runs away, however, and Haddix is on it. He's zoning for that front line. Shito gets the 2-man stun off, but the damage is returned by Hell, and Brayson gets credited with the kill.
Yeah, they're looking to chase on the Hell, they get the Hell, but the Hell keeps sustained up all that team fight, was surviving all that fighting, and now they're fighting back into that. Here, pick up Baletra, he's going down, hold onto the Shibalanke, he's down as well. It should be an easy Phoenix because Ronju is dead as well. Here's the issue, yes, you can focus the Hell, yes, you can throw everything you have on the Hell, but she's still gonna make it out, she's gonna survive. Didn't do it in the end, but he was stalling enough time for your team to finish that fight. Now finish the fight time, and it's a game win.
I mean, you can't really blame DragonesUC for what they did there. They were so far behind. They kind of needed to make that really big play. But I think it was just the sustain and the tankiness of SML Rejects that didn't allow for that Hell to be picked up sooner.
Yeah, they couldn't get onto the Hell really quickly. They couldn't proc all the anti-heal on her. So they could have played the game more aggressive when they had the lead, but at that point Ness was sadly DC'd or AFK'd, we don't know that, so they're missing their biggest point of strength at that point. And even though Frazen was punished early in the lane, he still kept up the farm, he was still very viable in those mid-game team fights. had good rotations, had good fight, and actually won the 1v1s
Yeah,
against
a lot of the time.
the Sri Lanka. So all the pressure bugs put on the Anhur early, all the kills went to nothing. And so we had a
And I
farming
think-
hell, and that's what farming hells do.
I think the situation here with Nesfor is kind of he got behind because of that AFK, but also because of how his build pathing was. He built Aussie, trying to like solo on her, maybe get a little bit of sustain out. But we saw more mechanical skill kind of displayed by Freyson in that game, and a little bit better build, shredding the front line of DragonesUC here. And that's going to be it for kind of a stomp of a game here in the Battle for Asgard finals. DragonesUC coming out on the bottom, SML Rejects taking the win here. Thanks for casting with me today, Trouble, and we'll see you Smite fans next time.